Okay, so just going to run through exercise 10.9, question 1. So it tells me here, fill in the table below, make sure you show all your workings, and the first one I'm doing is with rectangular solids. So I have to get either the length, breadth, height, volume or surface area. Okay, so for part I have the length, the breadth, I don't have the height, but I have the volume. So I can use my formula, it's length by width by height is equal to my volume. So I have 4 by 5 by my height is 180. I was given that information. 4 by 5 is 20. 20 by h will give me 20h, and that's equal to 180. I want to find the height, so I'm going to do cross by 20, divide across by 20. I will get the height is equal to 9. To get the surface area then, I drew out a rough diagram. So I have here, my length was 4, my width is 5, my height is 9. So if this is 4 here, that means up here must also be 4 because it's a rectangle, opposite sides are equal. If this is 9, that means that over here must also be 9. If this is 5 down here, that means up here must also be 5. Okay, so the area of this rectangle is going to be 4 by 9. The area of this rectangle is going to be 5 by 9. And the area of the top rectangle is going to be 4 by 5. So it's then going to be 2 times 4 by 5 plus 2 times 4 by 9 plus 2 times 5 by 9, and I get 2 by 20 plus 2 by 36 plus 2 by 45, and I get 40 plus 72 plus 90, and I get 202 centimeters squared for the first one. Okay, so part 2 in this, I have the length is 2, I don't know what the breadth is, I know the height, and I also know the volume. So my formula is length by width by height. So I have 2 by my width by my height, which is 3, is equal to 6. So 2 by 3 will give me 6. 6 by w gives me 6w over 6 is equal to 6. I want to get what one width is, so I divide across by 6, and I get the width is equal to 1. To get the surface area, once again, I drew out a rough diagram. So I have here, my length is 2, my width we just found out was 1, my height is 3. So if this is 2 here, that means that up here across from it must also be 2. If this is 3 here, that means across from it must also be 3. If this is 1 here, up here must also be 1. So now I have the area of this rectangle is going to be 2 by 3. The area of this is going to be 3 by 1, and up here is going to be 2 by 1. So then I get the surface area by going 2 times 2 by 3 plus 2 times 2 by 1 plus 2 times 3 by 1, and I get 2 by 6 plus 2 by 2 plus 2 by 3, and then my final answer when I work all of that out is I get 22 centimeters for my surface area. And then I have part C of this, so I don't know my length, I know my breadth is 7.5, my width is 2, and I know my volume is 210. So I have my length by my width by my height, so I don't know my length, so length by 7.5 by 2 is equal to 210, and I get 15L is equal to 210. I want to find out what just 1L is equal to, so I divide across by 15, and I get my length is equal to 14. Then to find my surface area, what I need to do is I draw out a rough diagram here. So I have my length is 14, my width here is 7.5, and my height is 2. Okay, so I'm getting the area of this rectangle, and this rectangle. So this here is going to be 14 by 2, this is 14 by 7.5, and this is 7.5 by 2. And it's going to be 2 times 14 by 2 because I have two sides, plus 2 times 14 by 7.5 top and bottom, and then I have 2 times 7.5 by 2, and I get my answer to be 296 centimeters squared. Okay, so for part 2 of this question I'm dealing with cylinders. So my volume for cylinders is pi r squared h. For part I have my pi, I have my radius, I don't know my height but I know my volume, so I sub in. So I have pi bracket 5 to be squared h is equal to 100 pi. 5 to be squared is 25 pi, h is equal to 100 pi. I want to find out with just one, or I divide across first by pi, and I get 25h is equal to 100. I want to find out with just 1h is equal to, so I divide across by 25. And I get my height for that part I is going to be 4. Then to get my curved surface area, my formula is 2 pi r h. So filling in, I've just found out my height, so I have 2 pi bracket, my radius was 5, my height is 4, and pi. My total surface area then, my formula is 2 pi r h plus 2 pi r squared, and I get 40 pi plus 2 pi bracket 5 to be squared, and I have 40 pi plus 50 pi, so my answer for that one is going to be 90 pi. On to part 2 then. I have pi is equal to 3.14. I don't know what my radius is. I know my height is 11 and my volume is 2797.74. So filling in, I have pi is equal, or pi r squared h is my formula for my volume of a cylinder. So I have 3.14, my r is what I'm looking for, to be squared, bracket 11 is equal to this. Then I have 3.14 multiplied by 11 will give me 34.54 r squared, and that's equal to 2797.74. I want to find r squared on its own, so I'm going to divide across by 34.54. R squared then is going to be equal to 81. I want to get r on its own, so I get the square root of 81, and I get my radius is equal to 9 for that example. Then what I'm doing here is I have to get my curved surface area. So my formula for my curved surface area is 2 pi r h, and I have 2 bracket 3.14 bracket 9 bracket 11, and I get 621.72. Then to get my total surface area, it's my curved surface area plus the two circles top and bottom. So I have 621.72 plus 2 bracket 3.14 bracket 9 to be squared, and when I get my final answer it's 1130.4. Okay, part 3, so I have pi is equal to 22 over 7. I don't know my radius, I know my height, I don't know my volume this time, but I know my curved surface area. So first of all we're going to get my curved surface area. So the volume, or the formula for my curved surface area is 2 pi r h. So I have 2 bracket 22 over 7. My r I don't know, my h is 14, and that's equal to 616. I multiply 2 by 22 over 7 by 14, and I get 88 r is equal to 616. I want to get r on its own, so I'm going to divide across by 88. So I'll have 616 divided by 88, and I'll get my radius is equal to 7. Now I'm able to go off and find my volume. So my formula for volume of a cylinder is pi r squared h. So I have pi is 22 over 7. My radius is 7 to be squared, bracket my height is 14, and I have is equal to 2156 centimeters cubed. Then I get my total surface area is equal to 2 pi r h plus 2 pi r squared. So I've already got my curved surface area, so that was 616 plus 2 bracket 22 over 7 bracket 7 to be squared, and I get my final answer to be 924 centimeters squared. Okay, so now I'm on to part 3 of this question, which is cones. My formula for the volume of a cone is 1 over 3 pi r squared h. So first one here, I have pi, I have my radius is 4, I don't have my height, I don't have my slant height, and I have my volume is equal to 16 pi. So I'm going to sub in here. So I have 1 over 3 pi 4 to be squared h is equal to 16 pi. I divide across by pi, and I'll have 4 to be squared will give me 16, and 16 then times 1/3 will give me 16 over 3 h is equal to 16. I want to get h on its own, so I'm going to divide across by 16 over 3. So I put into my calculator 16 over 3, and I get my height is equal to 3. So now I have enough information to go off and fill in more parts of this table. So first of all then I'm going to get my curved surface area. So my curved surface area, the formula is pi r l. Right, so I drew out a rough diagram. I don't know what my slant height is, but I know my height of the cone and I know my radius. So the height of the cone is 3, my radius is 4, and I have a right angle triangle, so I can go off and do Pythagoras' theorem. So I have a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. So I have 3 to be squared plus 4 to be squared is equal to x squared. 9 plus 16 is equal to x squared. 25 is equal to x squared, and I get x is equal to 5. So my slant height now is 5. Formula is pi r l. So it's pi bracket 4 bracket 5, and I get 20 pi for that one. And here I have total surface area. So total surface area is pi r L plus pi r squared. So I have pi bracket my radius, which is 4, my slant height we got was 5, plus pi bracket my radius, which is 4, to be squared, and I get 20 pi plus 16 pi, and my answer for that one is 36 pi. The second part of this, pi is equal to 3.14. I don't know my radius, I don't know my height, I know my slant height is 41, and I know my curved surface area. So my formula for curved surface area is pi r L. So I have 3.14 bracket r bracket 41 is equal to 1158.66. I want to get r basically on its own, so I'm going to multiply 3.14 by 41, and I get 128.74. r is equal to 1158.66. To get r on its own then, I'm going to divide across by 128.74, and I get r is equal to 9. So now I know my radius. To get my total surface area, it's pi r L plus pi r squared. So I have 3.14 bracket my radius, which is 9, bracket my slant height, which is 41, plus 3.14 bracket 9 to be squared, and my total surface area is 1413 centimeters squared. Okay, so to get my volume, I need to know my height. So now I'm actually going to go off and find the height. So I know my radius is 9, my slant height is 41, and I'm able to use that to find my height. So I have a right angle triangle, so I'm going to use Pythagoras' theorem. So I have a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. A is x to be squared plus my b is 9 to be squared is equal to 41 to be squared. So I have x squared plus 81 is equal to 1681. X squared then is equal to 1681, take away my 81, and I get x squared is equal to 1600. I want to get x on its own, so I'm going to get the square root of x, and I'll get x is equal to 40. That's my height. So we've just found out my height. Now I can go off and fill in my volume formula. So r squared h. So I have 1 over 3 bracket 3.14, my radius is 9 to be squared, my height is 40, and I get my answer to be 3391.2. Now I have part C. So pi is 22 over 7, my height is 99, my volume is 41,485, 5 over 7. So my formula for volume is 1 over 3 pi r squared h. So I have 1 over 3 bracket 22 over 7 bracket r to be squared bracket 99 is equal to 41,485, 5 over 7. When I multiply 1 over 3 by 22 over 7 by 99, I get 726 over 7 r squared, and that's equal to 41,485, 5 over 7. Right, I want to get r squared on its own, so I'm going to divide across by 726 over 7. Later I get r squared is equal to 400. I want r on its own, so r then is going to be equal to the square root of 400, so I will get r is equal to 20. So now I have my radius. Okay, so curved surface area is equal to pi r L. So pi is 22 over 7, my radius is 20, my L I don't know. So I need to go off and find my slant height first. So I know my radius and I know my perpendicular height. So I draw out my right angle triangle like so, and I have a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. So I have 99 to be squared plus 20 to be squared is equal to x squared. So I have 9,801 plus 400 is equal to x squared. 10,201 is equal to x squared, and to find x on its own I get the square root of that, and I get x is equal to 101. That is now my slant height, so I have enough information to go off and fill in my curved surface area. So curved surface area, the formula is pi r L. So I have 22 over 7 bracket 20 bracket 101, and I get 6,348.57. My total surface area then is pi r L plus pi r squared, and I get 6,348.57 plus 22 over 7 bracket 20 to be squared, and then my final answer is 7,605.71. Okay, so now we're on to spheres. So my volume is 4 over 3 pi r cubed. So I have volume is equal to 4 over 3 pi bracket r to be cubed is equal to 166 2/3 pi. First of all, I divide across by pi, and I'm left at 4 over 3 r cubed is equal to 166 2/3. Then I have r cubed is equal to 166 2/3 divided by 3. And when I put that into the calculator, I get r cubed is equal to 125, or then I get the cubed root of 125, and I get my radius to be 5. To get my total surface area, my formula is 4 pi r squared. So I have 4 pi bracket 5 to be squared, and I get 100 pi. For part B, I was given the total surface area, so I'm going to work with that one. So the formula for total surface area is 4 pi r squared. That's equal to 50 and 2 over 7. So I have 4 bracket 22 over 7 r squared is equal to 50 and 2 over 7. I multiply 4 by 22 over 7 to get 88 over 7 r squared. And I get r squared is equal to 52 over 7 divided across by 88 over 7, and I'll be left with 4. So r squared is equal to 4. Or then I will get the square root of 4, and r is equal to 2. Then to get my volume, my formula is 4 over 3 pi r cubed. So I have volume is equal to 4 over 3 bracket 22 over 7 bracket 2 to be cubed, and I get my volume to be 33.52. Part C, I have 4 over 3 pi r cubed. So I have 4 over 3 bracket 3.14 bracket r cubed is equal to 3052.08. So I multiply them in, and I get 4.186 r cubed is equal to 3052.08. I get r cubed then on its own, so I divide across by 4.186, and I get r cubed is equal to 729.16. So get r on its own by getting the cubed root of that, and when I put that into the calculator, I get my radius is equal to 9. Then to get my total surface area, it's equal to 4 pi r squared. So I have 4 bracket 3.14 bracket 9 to be squared, and I get 1017.36. Okay, finally on to hemispheres. So my volume for a hemisphere is 2 over 3 pi r cubed. So I have volume is equal to 2 over 3 pi r cubed, and that's equal to 88 and 1/3 pi. I divide across by pi, and I'm left with 2 over 3 r cubed is equal to 88 and 1/3. I get r cubed on its own by dividing the cross by 2 over 3, and I get r cubed is equal to 132.5 when I put that into my calculator. Then I want to get the cubed root of 132.5, and I get r is equal to 5.098, and I get my radius is equal to 5. Then I have my curved surface area is 2 pi r squared. That's 2 pi bracket 5 to be squared, and I get 50 pi for my curved surface area. My total surface area, the formula is 3 pi r squared. So it's 3 pi bracket 5 to be squared, and I get 75 pi. Okay, for part B then I have total surface area is equal to 3 pi r squared. So I have 3 bracket 22 over 7 r squared is equal to 37 and 5 over 7. I multiply them in, and I get 66 over 7 r squared is equal to 37 and 5 over 7. I want to get r squared on its own, so I divide across by 66 over 7, and when I put that into the calculator, I get r squared is equal to 4. So that means that my radius is equal to square root of 4. My radius is equal to 2. Then I want to get my curved surface area, so my formula for the curved surface area is 2 pi r squared. So I have 2 bracket 22 over 7 bracket 2 to be squared, and I get my curved surface area to be 25.14. To get my volume, I sub it into the formula 2 over 3 pi r cubed, and when I sub it in, I get 16.76. And then finally, part C, I get my curved surface area is equal to 2 pi r squared, and I sub in, so I have 2 bracket 3.140 r squared is equal to 508.68. When I multiply 2 by 3.140, I get 6.28 r squared is equal to 508.68. I want r squared on its own, so I will divide across by 6.28. R squared, then you'll get r is equal to square root of 81, r is equal to 9. Total surface area then is equal to 3 pi r squared, so I have 3 bracket 3.140 bracket 9 to be squared, and that's equal to 763.02, and the volume is equal to 2 over 3 pi r cubed. My volume then, when I sub that in, I get 1526.04. Okay, on to question 2. So I have a cuboid has a volume of 2700 and it has a length of 10 centimeters and a width of 15. Find its height. So the volume formula is length by width by height. So I multiply 10 by 15 by height, what I'm looking for, and that's equal to 2700. 10 by 15 gives me 150. H is equal to 2700. So I divide across by 150 and I get my height to be. For question 3 then, it says 900 centimeters squared, 40. So what I did here is my length is 25, no. So if this here is 5, if this is this width, here is going to be 25, be 20 by W. So then what I need to do is I need to go 2 times all of these rectangles. So it's going to be 2 times 25 by 40 plus 2 times 25 by W plus 2 times 40 by W, and the answer is equal to 5,900. So I have 25 by 40 times 2 will give me 2,000. 25 by W is 25W, times 2 will give me 50W. 2 by 40 times W will give me 80W, and the answer is equal to 5,900. 50 plus 80 will give me 130W, plus 2,000 is equal to 5,900. And then I have 130W is equal to 5,900, take away 2,000. So 130W is equal to 3,900. W on its own I divide across by 130 and I get my width is equal to 30.